Okay, here we are. Sorry I missed out on the last race I had over on Monza. It wasn't too bad, but it definitely had some my share of spins on there. Well, it looks like today we got a really fast lobby. It's only one split because it's like kind of in the middle of the night, but it's an early on for the week. I think it might be one of the first events for this week because they'll repeat the same event multiple times throughout that week, and then they switch the track. And it's in Brazil. And Brazil loves to use the word autodromo for everything, so it's hard to know what exact track it is, but it's not a lot of speed involved, but a whole lot of elevation changes, several hairpins, a lot of bank. So it calls for somewhat low downforce for most people, I noticed. But I decided to go for a safer approach. I gotta get this fuel loaded up. You say to click the middle mouse button, but it's not maxing it, so just do it like that. I'll also see how my tires are doing for the qualifying. 1% difference between front and rear. Now I did try and test run the Ferrari, and I didn't have to spend as much time to get a decent lap time with that, but it still felt a little bit skittish. I've been thinking about switching my car. Something not seen quite nearly as much, obviously. Ferrari set a pretty decent impression, but it's got its differences. I've been familiar with the Mustang so far. I'm just gonna make sure I dial it in real good, and so far it's been looking pretty promising because I just softened the spring rate and raised that ride height a bit more, and it mellows out quite a bit. I'm still bottoming out every once in a while, but it's a real light touch and go throughout this track. I'm still at a crossroads on that, though. I want to keep it from doing that as much as possible, but if I do anything else, it's definitely going to sacrifice some time, I imagine. I used to be so bent on just making sure the car was as low as possible at all times. Between all the other games, that would pay off, but this one, it just seems like it's better to be smart. And this Porsche, during qualifying, we were going neck and neck. We have a gap on our qualifying time of 0.02 of a second, which is incredibly close. So I don't know how hard he's going to be pushing for it, but if it's a Porsche, he may not have tuned it right, so I won't have to worry about passing him. I just got to make sure I cover my tail. But again, this is a real fast lobby. I'm hoping nobody actually caused any incidents early on. No dive bombing. The last race I had, it seemed to be pretty good. Hypercars are still causing trouble. They probably will again here, but there's not nearly as many. But yeah, I had my mic muted on the last race I did, so I'm not so sure I want to upload that. It'll look kind of awkward with me waving my mouse around like I'm trying to point something out. But that's okay. I can edit a few things in there. I was pretty close to giving up on the Mustang altogether, but it came out alright. I just didn't give it a lot of time to tune. I spun maybe 10 times, but somehow I managed to finish. Had a couple of people sideswipe me. The hypercars in particular took out 3 guys right in front of me. It was like all throughout the lap. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I managed to finish that race. I'm hoping we don't get that kind of luck here. Oh my, the energy is looking different than the, better not return. I don't know how much later we got. Oh, 3 seconds? Yeah, forget it. I can't change it now. It's too late. Hold the brake. Take off that pit limiter before I forget. Ready? Oh, I'm not going to drive through. What's going on here? think we're good. Sort of. Well, that's interesting. My wheel is pulling to the left because of the gravity alone is yanking me there. I'm gonna keep to the outside here. I don't want anybody hitting me. Oh, there's a spin. Wasn't expecting him to just wail on the brakes. That's too bad. There goes the front end. We'll see how it goes. I was saying that it doesn't seem to be very dependent on downforce, but all darn it. I was hoping I'd use the fuel strategy in this one. Oh, buddy, you better not. So it's a hypercars. It's just a guarantee with these guys. Whoops, getting all excited. Just trying to keep up with the guy. If I lose him, I might start losing my pace. Won't have a target in front of me. That seems to happen a lot lately. I remember Orlando's are pretty good at the hairpins or those slow corners. But I'm not so sure about the top end here. Very dependent on the tunes. I haven't tried driving, so might be something worth it. Wow, 140. Oh, yeah, that's. We'd be getting 130. I almost got excited on that one there. Time to focus, so I don't want to get behind me. Another hypercar there. That was sloppy. Whoa, that's a glare. That is super bright. I'm blind. I don't have my brake marker like I usually do. It just happens to be on the road itself. I don't have any other reference. Guess that's my own fault for screwing that up. Big plan ahead. To be honest, I haven't been on this track quite that much. Only just, early on when I was new. But I hardly remember. Oh, plowing. Come on now. I can do better than this. Yeah, I'm losing that front end downforce alright. Pushing. He wants to get away from me, and I don't blame him. Yeah, 136, just like that. They got no trouble in that. Austin Martin is another car I'm considering, but I don't see those too often. But when they do, they're always very consistent, almost always up front. One in a few. I'm I can imagine most people aren't really a fan of them just because they've been around so long and they haven't really had a lot of success in their life. In fact, they seem to kill people more than they do finish the race. That's just my opinion. Certainly a dangerous car. Boy, if you gotta make pit adjustments, it's like good luck getting the controls out. There's no moment of rest on this track. break that weight right there. That looked like it worked really well. I think that's where I've been losing most of my time. Oh, no. Stop the spring for you. Easy to recover. Picking up the pace too. We'll be doing 37s the rest of the race here. Getting his focus. And I lost him out of his grasp. Come on! Car's not rotating now. Staying down first. Ran bump this now. Got that awesome behind me catching up. He wasn't 7th earlier. So I got riled up with hypercars earlier. Oh man, I'm tanking that one. That was terrible. Now. Let's speed that up again. Take my time on that corner because you can't really get around me in the middle of it. And here he goes. He's got more speed. A lot more speed. Holy crap. Just left me in the dust. About the same as the corners, but he's got all that top end there. It's just supposed to be the same. Can't get on it quite as early as he does. I can give some credit to a good tune on that, but that's ridiculous. Whoops, way too much. He gets real wide in that one. I'm actually following his line pretty good here, but car just ain't gonna keep up with him. Looks like I'm handling the run with a little bit better than his, but it's not really gaining any time. Yeah, he just left me. I don't even have a draft after one lap. Got just an inkling on the brake zone. Gained a little bit. Whoa, hypercar. That was probably the best opportunity to pass me. Slowed him down a bit. bit of draft on that. That was it. She's gone. Can't even get in there. I was kind of screwing that lap up. I'm not gonna have much more to give. Whoa, buddy. There goes all the way down for us. They fucking took it right off from under me. Don't touch that wall. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. Gosh darn. Somebody hit. I guess it didn't make contact over there, but there's some tires locking up. Ooh-wee. Alright, let's try not to shit our pants this time. I guess this guy knows what he's doing. This guy too, man. They all got top end. Whoops, I braking way early on that. That was bad. Sure how to approach that corner. I know I'm missing something there. Maybe somebody else can put damage to that window. Wide over there. moves going on. I'm starting to lose the Porsche. I'm gonna do that. Can't get my shit together. I got a little bit better turn in on that. Just doing it too soon as well. I might be able to keep a pace. Not a good exit on that corner. I see that. Not really gaining a whole lot of time. Gonna take some practice on that one. Whoa, really? Whoa, what's going on? Bogging down. I'm not slowing down that much. I don't know what my deal is. I'm really losing my pace. Half a second slow, no bueno. Well, it's actually a whole second at this point with the damage I got. Could have been better. Well, you got around the Lambo and I wasn't there to follow up. Shame on me. Nail in the coffin. He was smooth about it, so I can't get too upset. What he's doing, he's backed off. Uh-oh. What's going on there? Two guys right there near each other? They aren't looking too good. Whoops. Must have that. well. That was rough. Wasn't really sure what was going to happen there. He was barely hanging in there. Yeah, that guy's going to have to stay. He's not getting anywhere. Whatever happened to him. Motherfucking bunker. We're racing. And I have to get close for a track like this. There's no way to wait. Oh, blew that. Oh, it's not penalizing for that one. Oh well. Where are you at? Still alive. He's plowing a bit. Like he got nicked on the front end or something. On the cover of his brakes. Either that or he's trying to outlast his rear tires, so he's wearing those out. Changing the bias to the front. Sounds about right. Oh man, I'm so glad he took that opportunity. I saw him coming up in the ways. Come on, dude, don't make me regret it. There we go. Oh, it's pretty slick. Maybe just the time to give him a little bit of moment to think about it. Still kind of wasted it there on turn one, but he made it. Getting wrecked. Oh, dude. Fucking jerk. Oh, man. I don't know how I'm leaving this guy behind me. He definitely took some damage or something. to save fuel. Got tired of me being behind him. Hard to say, otherwise he'd be right on my ass if that was the case. I don't know what happened to him. People coming out of it. Kind of early, but there's a lot of mayhem going on. Slowing me down. I like him. He's better at that. Much safer. Gasolina. Got a Mad Max reference. Oh, really, dude? Don't you fucking hit me. Fucking idiot. Man. I don't know what the age group is for those guys. You think they'd have a clue of driving something that fast? Game this expensive? Probably not even using a wheel. Probably got a controller. All the way around. That was nice. So I can still get around some ways. Just gotta line it up. God, my lap time sucks right now. I can't be the only one though. I see 4th place. I'm getting mid 38s. There's the other Lambo getting 39. Yeah, that's a bit of a mixed bag right now. It's gotta be that way for the rest of the race, I imagine. Way too late on that. Boy, this guy's down on 11th, pacing a lot faster than me. I guess I'm gonna have something to worry about towards the end of the race. You can have that. Damn. Knew what he was doing. Another hypercar coming up. Guess that worked out. That was pretty tight. Yeah, that's the leader of hypercars right there, that class, and he's done pretty damn good. Keeps it close too. actually in cornering, you definitely want to do that because you don't want to have the line stretching out too wide. You want to get around everybody as quick as possible, but he does it in a reasonable way. Waits a little bit. Keep it close so you don't forget his edge. Pretty smooth. Going early again on that corner, you know. Isn't it good? Oh boy, I'm pushing. No more of that. I'm not even fighting for position right now. A little bit wide. I gotta say, it's not really one of my favorite tracks, but it's not the worst either. Not too bad. Right on my thumbs though, this wheel. That Lambo slipping 3 seconds behind me. Certainly ain't over for us. Oh, darn it. See 6th place is only 6 seconds ahead. We might be able to catch that. Not exactly halfway through the race, but it's an indication we got a pace here. Traffic is going to play a big factor for us. So it's still a bit of a gamble. No need to be pushing. Damn it, that grass off the end, really no good. That's alright, made it work. Boy, that's some traffic for it. Steady. Oh, made a second and a half on that guy. That's pretty cool. that green tarmac. Don't think it's got the same grip as asphalt here. Got a little bit sideways on it. Oh dear. That's gonna affect me. I'll go gap him a little. I won't be able to keep up with him, but you know how it is. I just got way more top end in me. It's kind of awkward. It's not all on the damage here. I'm losing just a smidget of top end. I did say I was going conservative with this tune. It was paying out a little. I'm sure I could be up middle of the pack a little bit more, but I saw that chance of spinning out all the time. I'm not liking that too much. Doesn't make an exciting race. Way out. Okay, I didn't penalize me for it because I knew I slowed down on that. That was bad line. Oh, dude, you better make up your mind. Oh shit. That would have been my fault right there. He's pretty cool. Yeah, he was pretty cool. He's been real flexible about that. I did lose my pace quite a bit there. I could have caught that guy. Still, 6th place is a lot closer than earlier. Not too bad. Still possible to contain. Excellent break point right there. Starting to get dark out here, isn't it? Another one. Damn. It's way up there when they get down the straight. It's ridiculous. Uh-oh, incident. Well, that's the next position right in front of me there. It's 2 seconds, so he's been losing something. I don't know if this traffic is in. That's been a long ways down. Might be running out of rear tires. It doesn't look like he's getting sideways, so it's hard to say. There's a lot of shit going on in this race. Keep shifting to 5th. I shouldn't be doing it. Oh, hell up. Willie Nelson, man, on the way. Jesus. Almost completely lost it right in front of this guy. We definitely would have had some damage there. Oh, man. Bad move. Cut me out twice now. Well, the second part was okay. He did a good move there, but that first one, coming in at 21, that was just terrible. Why he's always back in 10th though? He must have got hit by something so much faster. I'm probably getting the car to rotate now. Yeah, he's gone. Just everything about that. Straightaways. Ridiculous. It's like the Austin. Another hypercar plane dead. Having a rough time in this track. Of course, they don't have ABS on their cars, so that doesn't help. They gotta be able to drive a little more cautious. Some of that grass. He doesn't want it. He's keeping it wide. pretty close to the same performance on the brakes, so the exit speed. Cool. Disaster right there. Oh my gosh. Hitting that tarmac. Gonna look for an angle. It's cost me everything. Starting to get away from me now. Just outside the graph, it looks like. That's alright. Still catching up to the pack. It's hitting right now. Whoa, dude. Watching my mirror, but that was ridiculous. Oh, the Austin Martin's all in the back now. And he's got a drive-through. I mean, they're both back there. So, damn. I guess we're not consistent. I was wrong. But still, I haven't tried driving myself. There's a lot of stuff going on in this race. Pretty much a toss-up for whoever gets killed. Hang in there. Pretty good on his field too, by the looks of it. Yeah, I guess I'll repair my body. Hypercar, retro dance. Good. Yeah, he's still staying out. Oh, good. Nailed that one. Practice a little bit on the pit stops. Just a little bit. Okay, Will, we get it. Jesus. I went way up there. Usually do. So it's, 70 seconds. Jesus. Yeah, virtual energy is no fun. Doesn't take you 2 minutes to fill up a tank. How are my tires doing? I forgot to look at that. Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's gonna be in the next pit for sure. I ain't gonna last the race with that. I think I overcorrected on the energy there. I think I'll do that. Oh, you had me. You had me fooled. Turn our lights on, huh? Solid difference on that splitter. Not a real big difference though, not a game changer for me, but definitely getting up to speed a little faster. Brake a little later on that one. Yeah, we'll get more speed here. About 1 mile an hour, but it's getting up there faster. Bitch, you gotta run. Oh, bad. We're losing grip on that. Do it. Holy shit. I guess I'm in 7th. I thought I was getting close to a 5th place for a while. Oh, there's that Austin. That Lambo. I did have to make repairs, so that cost me 30. Yeah, it checks out about right. Never mind, actually, he's right next to me. Literally. Oh shit. Never mind, that's a hypercar. getting away from me too. Interesting. Breaking even now. I gotta find my line all over again. I can't seem to figure out where I'm losing time. Keep that same up there. Right in that area, I'm losing almost a whole second. Whoops, that was way back. Oh well. Oh, that was beautiful. That's beautiful right there. Hard to time it out though, but wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. A little harsh on that one. That's a little better. Come on, dude, move the fuck over. What the hell is that about? He just blows it. See what kind of driver you're dealing with. Oh my gosh. lost a lot of time on that one. Driving like jerks. Probably using the controller, jumping around like he did. Oh, that was bad. What the hell happened? Saw somebody behind me. Oh, there it is. That same BMW. He was down in 10th, now made it up to 9th. He's probably getting back on the lead lap where he's trying to. Still a lap down, faster than everybody else. Good example of why you don't want to be taken out in the first lap. Makes a world of difference. Exit on that corner. Let that guy go, he's still hesitated. looks like I'm in a big pocket, but it's actually a pretty close gap between us. From what's behind me and what's in front of me. But a fairly comfortable position, I gotta admit. A little bit wide. Light in the back. I was finally starting to give in. I feel like it's too extreme though. Trying too hard again. Still 5 seconds here. Feeling the pressure from up there, huh? That's why I chose a Mustang. Too far back there. You can flip in so easily. Getting a little nervous. Oh, that's the leader. That's it, he threw it away. Wonder what that was about. Get it all that way. Didn't damage his car though, he's out in the open there. He'll be back. Martin's back up on top. What's going on there? He was all the way in the back, really. Strange. Yeah, that's confusing. I thought it was a BMW that spun out. I guess he made it in second. Got somebody hot on his tail. Lambo's in there. Please don't hit me. Oh, that was fifth place. What the hell? Okay. These are starting to look up. Very unexpected. Both the Lambo spun. I've had quite a few close calls. Oh my gosh, the soft spring is working. I got 3 Lambos behind me here, all on the line. Just outside my draft. I hope I can keep it all right. It's a little early on the brakes. Sloppy out there. Early again. A little overly cautious here. He's going to catch me if I keep that up. Excellent. Apex right there. Still losing time though. Let's see. Lost a whole second. Definitely got the speed on me. Oh, that's the leader again. Taking a risk letting him go like that. Hey. I'm glad I let him go before they came up. That would have been ridiculous. Still 2 seconds on that guy, so we're okay. Just a question of fuel. I have no idea how much I'm burning here, really. Low halfway on the energy. We've been running for almost 20 minutes. I don't think I'll have enough for the end of the race, that's what I have. Back on quite 2 minutes apiece. Oh, I hate that. It's going to be hard to do the math on this one. That Beamer. Very little energy is going to be required. I might actually make it. I don't know. Let's speed that up. Oh, dude. No damage on my end. I think he's got the same. Like a real light cat. Boy, he cut that grass. Dude, please. No theatrics. We're almost there. Oh shit. Well, I guess I got served. Bummer. very unexpected. Oh yeah, in case I do pit. I'm not going to need those tires. It's going to be way too short of a race right there. Idiot. Goes off track anyways. Now's the time to pass. Dickweed. Slowing me way down, buddy. shit there. What's going on? they actually get it. I can't believe there's still a chance, but there is. Get a top 5 and I'll be happy. Save fuel. I couldn't make it fuel for them, you know. No, I ain't gonna. Thought sure I had a good chance in this race, but I didn't get quite a bit of drafting there, but I didn't do a lot of posting. I just did playing catch up for 90% of the race. His tires a bit. He's not out of the game. I was trying to close that door at the last second. A decent exit I had, but I got no top end on this guy. I thought I would have had it. Oh, maybe. There we go. Pushing it though. Almost blew that. I got a shot at this guy too. He's only 3 seconds up there. Oh, plowing. Tires are going. They're like, hell with you, I'm walking. First time I was on this track, I did this race and managed to pit only one time. Now I'm pitting 3 times here. struggling with their tires right now. Absolutely. That was different. Maybe see the traffic. Fucking idiots. Serves them right. Glad they didn't hit me though. That's all I could say in the end of that. Oh my gosh, that one guy was behind me. I thought it was my opponent. And I noticed how he jumped over to the side. He definitely had a faster pace than what I was doing. There's a lot of hypercars right in one spot. Okay. 6 laps left in the tank. A little bit of separation from these guys. And they're really slowing down too. That was very interesting. They'll probably update that car later. Give it a little more love. Lights. Whoa, man, that's a tricky corner right there. You got a little weak spot. There's a little bit of a bank going on just as you're getting up over a certain crest. A lot of changing. You don't hit it just right. Just imagine I spun maybe 2 times in this race. If I didn't do any spins, I'd be tangling with that Porsche right now. We're pretty close in this race, despite all the carnage going on. This is amazing. Another hyper. Spacing off. Trying to look at my fuel. Not again. That's gonna be like another 20 seconds to change all 4 tires. So I'm gonna pass on that. Not enough race left to actually justify it. short 2-lapper. I was still saying 13%. I didn't do no 13, that's for sure. Oh boy, where's the tires? I think they finally dropped off on me. Whoops. Didn't swipe that. Hanging in there. One more lap and we'll quit. Second and take the map a little bit. Want to make sure we're going to make it. A little bit nervous now. I'm seeing that nobody else is hitting at all. Of course, we'll drop back a little bit. Coming in the grass. Maybe damage. Moving very fast. They're starting to keep it on the track. Oh shit, no you didn't. You asshole. You motherfucker. Oh my god. What is wrong with that guy? That really sucks. That was just out of nowhere. Seemed pretty intentional because it wasn't getting off the track. Really had fourth place in the bag there. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to want to go back on my replay and just look at all the wrecks. It's just going to be like a whole week process right there. Oh, dude, I got damaged. He's not really driving that great either. There he is again. What's he doing? wish I could have caught that other guy. Jeez. Dropping back like hella bad. Who the fuck hit me? Was off the track, pretty deliberate. A little bit of lag going on, a netcode issue. Still off the track. Yeah, he's got alignment issue. It's just completely broken free from his pinion. Just goes right up there and stops. Alright, rant's over. I'm glad some people can relate. gone out of here, I guess. I don't know. It'd be nice if I could see my tires, but I already took damage and everything, and oh, these aren't quite right anyways. I'm just sitting still. But yeah, down to 18% on the left rear. Holy crap. Yeah, I was noticing that loss of grip there in the end. It did surprise me well. I guess when you take care of your car, it takes care of you. I wasn't going off the road too much. I wasn't getting sideways. Yeah, I'm starting to see how they intend you to drive on this game. You can't just push it. I kind of miss that, because in real life they did that a lot through the whole race. They would do that, but that's back in like 2018, 2015 or so. A lot of big names in there, in American Le Mans. Anyways, I mean, I remember watching Black and Pain series and the WEC. And they were a joke, sitting side by side. They were just an absolute joke. I remember when the Ford GT came along. They were having all the problems. Door getting stuck, differential kind of locking up on them. They got stuck in second gear. There's a few other things in there, but yeah, it was all on the first day of racing out on Daytona. Blew a tire 2 times. That didn't cause any damage because Michelin was very new in that time, and well, they were returned, and they had something to prove there. They were awesome. But yeah, they go over to Europe, over in Le Mans, and lo and behold, they had another team in Europe that was part of the organization, part of the same team, but they were another well, you know, they were split. They had to have a car competing in WEC for them to compete at Le Mans, so that was the rules. But by the time they got there, they all got together. The UK were so far behind, and they were just starting to find those problems, running into the same issues that the American team basically had in the first race. So they never pushed it to the limit. Not once. Anyways, let's take a look at... I had some close calls in there. Spinning out. It was scary stuff, but yeah, I'm so glad I didn't get nailed on that one. Yeah, here's one guy. Yeah, so I got to get the times down, and then basically go from there. Alright guys, catch y'all later.